My name is Jamie Bunker, and I'm a 4th grade teacher at Manchester Elementary School. Today, I'd like to show you one of the strategies that 4th graders are learning to help them solve various problems. The strategy is called the bar model, and the bar model can be used to help solve a variety of problems. Problems including whole numbers, fractions, even decimals. But specifically, the bar model helps to solve problems where two values are being compared. So let's take a look at the first example. Connor just began collecting baseball cards. So far, he has collected 45 of them. His older brother, Jacob, has collected for a while and has 3 times as many cards as Connor. How many cards has Jacob collected? So in this problem, we know that Connor has collected 45 baseball cards. So in our bar model, we're going to use various blocks to represent each bar. And each person in our problem is going to be represented by a different bar. Connor has 45 baseball cards. We'll use the pink block for his. Now Jacob has 3 times as many cards as Connor. So I'm going to take, this time, a yellow block, and I'm going to build a second bar. And this time, I'm going to make the bar 3 times longer than the first bar. Now, each of these blocks that I've used to build the bars is the same size, so they represent the same value. In the problem, we know that Connor has 45 cards, so I'm going to label Connor's pink block with a value of 45. And we know that Jacob has more cards. He has 3 times more, so it makes sense that his bar is longer. This is Jacob's bar. He has 3 times as many. Now, I know that each block is worth the same value, so I can actually go ahead and label each of Jacob's blocks with 45 as well. But what we're missing, what we're trying to figure out, is how many cards Jacob has collected. So in this problem, what we're missing is the total value for Jacob's cards. His entire bar is an unknown value at this point, and I'm going to assign it a variable. I'll use the variable y. Now the bar model also helps students to make connections to an equation that they're going to use to solve the problem for the variable. And in this example, we can see that Jacob's cards, that's y, is 3 times the size of Connor's. And since Connor's block is worth 45 cards, our equation will look like this. Y equals 3 times 45. Now students can also look at this and check for reasonableness, check to make sure that it makes sense. 45 plus 45 plus 45 in Jacob's bar is the same, that repeated addition, as multiplying times 3. And students could use a variety of strategies to figure out that 3 times 45 is 135. So in this case, y equals 135, or Jacob has 135 baseball cards. Now, this bar model can also be used to solve a similar problem when a different piece of information is missing. So let's take a look at another example. Jacob has been collecting baseball cards and has 135 of them. This is 3 times more cards than his brother Connor's collection. How many cards has Connor collected so far? Now in this problem, the same 2 brothers, the same scenario, but there's a different piece of missing information. So though our bar model will look similar, we're going to label it in a different way. Connor still has less cards than his brother Jacob. We'll assign him the pink block. Jacob still has more cards than his brother Connor. And specifically, we know that he has 3 times more cards than his brother Connor. So again, Jacob's bar is 3 times longer than Connor's. But this time we know how many cards that Jacob has. So in my model, I'm going to label that as the total. We know that it's 3 times more cards, and that's why we've used 3 blocks in Jacob's bar. but what's missing is the value of Connor's cards. So in this case, the value of just one block is unknown. And I can use either a question mark or a letter as a variable to represent that. So my equation is going to look a little different. This time, we have the numbers 135 and 3. And the bar model provides a nice place for students to look at, a visual for students to say, it wouldn't really make sense to multiply those numbers. This time I have to do something a little differently. I'm looking at a total of 135, and what would the value be if I divided it equally into 3 equal groups? So my equation, 135 total cards divided by 3 equals our unknown. And again, students can use a variety of strategies to solve that division problem and figure out that the value of Connor's cards is 45, or the missing value is 45. So the answer to this problem would be Connor has 45 baseball cards. I hope that these examples show how bar models can help students to solve problems and a variety of problems in different ways. I hope that this helps provide some examples at home that will help your students in school as well.